Welcome to We Are Old, Get Over It, the podcast where we celebrate the wisdom of age and maybe a little grumbling too. Welcome back to the podcast, We Are Old, Get Over It. I'm your host, Ken Gluckman. Look, we're all getting older. That's one thing we can't stop. But what we can stop is the absolute madness of wellness overwhelm. We spend hours debating if we should buy the organic kale or the non-GMO crackers while we're getting 4 hours of sleep and having not lifted a weight since the Clinton administration. It's time to stop majoring in the minors. Today, my guest is again here to slap some sense into our routines. She slaps me all the time, but it's only over the video. She's a registered dietitian, nutritionist, a best-selling author. One of her books is The Flexitarian Diet, which we've never discussed. We may have to do that some other time. She's the winner of ABC's My Diet is Better Than Yours. She narrowed down the chaos into what she calls the core four. And if you aren't doing these four things, the rest of your supplements and superfoods don't mean a lick. Please welcome to the show the force of nature herself, Dawn Jackson Blatner.
Woo! Yes,
I'm the only one here, so I have to applaud.
Hey, I like it. I like
yeah,
it.
There you
what
go.
A great intro. I love what you wrote there. Stop majoring in the minors. That is really what this core four all was about. I had so many people always asking me those little questions like you were talking about. Should I buy this organic? Is this the right soup brand to buy? All these little questions. And I'm like, hold up. This is not what we need to even be talking about. And even to your point, you can take as many supplements as you want, but if you're not doing these core four things, it doesn't matter that you really need this as the foundation of your health. And I say, if you do these core four things regularly, that you will become the healthiest person you know.
Okay.
I mean, that's a big promise right there.
It is a big promise. Now, the only thing is that they have to follow your advice, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Now,
it's regularly, yes.
Does your husband follow your advice?
I would say he is one of my best students, actually.
Okay. Do you nag him?
Well, no, I try and do what they say in all the books is like teach by example,
Okay.
so that you're like, oh, I eat like this, I exercise like this, I sleep like this is how I live. And I have energy to do things. I'm a happy person, so I'm not as much of a nag as I'm hopefully a good role model.
Right. Well, okay. Before we get started, and then you're going to say the rest of the stuff in the podcast,
Okay.
I admire your microphone. How did you create that microphone? I have a regular standard microphone. It looks like this. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Hold up your microphone.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate where your head's at with this because each one of these gems, it's a bedazzled, a gemmed a microphone that I did by myself. One gem at a time. I use super glue. And I thought one day I was doing a podcast and I looked at my regular microphone. I was like, man, that doesn't seem very fun. I was like, I bet I can fun it up. And so then I just put on these jewels. And actually, that is sort of a testament for a lot of what I do with wellness. So you can kind of use this as an example. Is a lot of times if I find something to be boring or I'm having a hard time doing it, I don't beat myself up about it. I just strategize and make it more fun. I make it more doable. I make it something that I look forward to. It's our intrinsic motivation is the system that I don't understand why more people don't use it. It's if you naturally do something that you like. So why don't you just try and make everything healthy more likable so that you naturally do it? Like stop choking down food you don't like, stop doing exercise you don't like, stop making sleep such a drag. Like absolutely make these things enjoyable and then you'll naturally do them.
So it's not work, it's joy. And that's what you're saying. That
Yeah,
you should do joyful things in your life.
I definitely try just because it works for me instead of against me. It makes things easier rather than harder.
Okay. All right, now let's get back to our story.
Fine. I like that. But thank you for pointing out my microphone. I wish more people gave
I like
ode
that.
to it.
I'm jealous. I'm going to,
Thank you.
I'm going to probably copy you or something. I don't know. I don't know if I have such great gems, though.
I couldn't
Maybe next time
imagine.
you see my microphone, I'll start sticking things on it just
I
for
like
fun.
it. Fun.
Okay.
Fun.
All right, let's talk about the pillars.
Okay.
What's the first pillar?
All right. So core four, shouldn't be self-explanatory, but let's point out there are 4 things. And so the first one is sleep. So sleep is the foundation of everything. And here's why I decided that is I've noticed over time that when people are tired, they have no energy to exercise. When people are tired, they have no energy to eat right. And so that energy, human beings replugging, recharging, regenerating our battery happens when we sleep. It's not something lazy that we do. It's in fact one of the most active times of a human body is actually in sleep to repair and reprocess everything. So you've got to get enough sleep. That's the key. Oh, you know what, Ken? Listen to this. I have an acronym for sleep. I just created it maybe last
Do I
November.
have to write this down in my book?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I think you do. I think you do because I really like this. Because, a lot of people talk about sleep hygiene, which means, making sure that you're doing everything that you can to keep yourself more likely to fall asleep. But I was like, they're so hard to remember. I wish I could come up with an acronym. And sure enough, I came up with an acronym. So here it is. The acronym is SLEEP. So you ready
Could
for
you
it?
spell that? Could you spell
Yeah,
that for
exactly.
me?
Listen, each letter stands
Okay.
for something that's so important for our sleep. The first one, it's unbelievable. Same time. So S stands for same time. It is so incredibly important that your weekdays, your weekends, as much as you can, you are trying to go to bed and wake up at the same time. There are new studies that are coming out that say that this timeliness is actually even more important than the hours that you sleep or the quality even of your sleep, that getting into this circadian rhythm of the same time of sleep and wake is imperative. So the first letter S is same time.
Okay, wait. When you said S, I thought snore.
well, I mean, there you go. That is a part of some people's sleep.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
let's talk about how long sleep should be
I
approximately.
mean, 8 hours ish. Some people need less, some people need a little more.
Okay.
But the biggest thing with that first S is the same time. So even if you can't clock in as many hours as you want, try and keep your schedule the same day in and day out. It sets your whole body clock. That's really what it's all about.
Oh,
So then you have the L. Now, I love this one. This is light management. We forget as mammals that we actually really respond to light and darkness. And so in the morning, you need bright lights to remind your whole body and your whole system to wake up. And at night, you need the opposite. You need less light. So you're turning down all of your lights in your house. You're putting away the electronics that are emitting light. You're turning off the television. You want darkness at night. And in fact, there are studies about sleep that if you wear a sleep mask to really keep it dark, that you will have lower cortisol levels, lower stress levels, and higher melatonin levels, which helps you sleep just by having that sleep mask while you're sleeping. So light management is the L in sleep.
okay. Are we going to go into the business of selling those masks, you and I?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't mind because not all of them are great. Some of them
No.
smash your eyes and they really make a indent. And some of them have too much peaking light. So yes, you have to do a little due diligence and practice with your sleep mask, but they are a research sleep tool that I would definitely try for that L for that
That's
light
very good to
management.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we
Okay.
have
So then
another
you have
letter?
now we have E. Now we have the first E. There's going to be a double E in this word
I
sleep.
know that. I'm keeping up
Uh-huh.
with you.
Thank you. Okay,
I have
so
my notes. I'm making my
I love
notes.
that you are. Okay, so the other E is early hydration. And why I say early hydration means a lot of times people wait until the evening to drink a bunch of water, and then they drink a bunch of water even right before they go to bed. And this is why people wake up in the middle, not the only reason, but one of the reasons people wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom is because they've had too much water close to bedtime. So trying to hydrate early, and that goes along with coffee. I do not care if somebody says to me, "Oh, Dawn, I'm one of those people who can have coffee any time of the day or night, and it doesn't affect my sleep." Oh, it does. It 100% does. You might not feel like it does, but it is changing how much REM sleep, like dream state sleep, and deep sleep you're getting. So
Hmm.
even though you may not feel like it's affecting you, it is. So early hydration and early caffeine is that first E.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for the next E?
So wait a
Oh,
second. So
okay.
how far ahead of when you go to sleep should you stop drinking?
Okay, so if a normal recommendation for water is like 72 ounces for a woman each day, probably more if she's active, 100 ounces for a man each day, more if he's active,
Mhm.
depending on meds and weather and all that stuff. You want to stop drinking all of that about 2 hours before you go to bed.
2 hours.
And
Okay.
so you still want to stay well hydrated. I mean, hydration is a pillar of health for sure, but just don't chug it all before you go to bed.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
go to
Second
let me
E
guess.
in
Wait.
sleep. Oh,
E.
yes, good.
Another
There
E.
you're
Okay,
I
go
love that you're
ahead.
keeping up. A student, A student. Okay, so this E is exercise. And I don't mean
Mm.
exercise right before bed. I mean exercise sometime during the day because exercisers tend to get themselves sleepy, their muscles are working, and they tend to be better sleepers because they've been active in their day. So exercisers win when it comes to sleep, and so making sure that that second E exercise is somewhere in your day. Now, some people can exercise, in the evening and it doesn't affect their sleep, but most people do better when their exercise is earlier in the day. And then that leaves us with the final letter of sleep acronym for how to get
Let me
more sleep.
guess.
Yep. Can I do,
Piss?
do,
No,
do,
pee.
do.
No, pee.
That's
Pee. Does that mean
yeah.
pee?
No,
Like go
here's
to the
what the P is.
bathroom?
No, here's what the P is.
Oh, okay.
Portions. Portions.
Portion.
At your dinner time, looking at your portions of 3 things, okay, is looking at your food, your alcohol, and your sugar. You wanna keep those low, that if you have huge dinner, it's gonna interrupt your sleep. If you have a bunch of alcohol, it's going to interrupt your sleep, and if you have a bunch of sugar, it's going to interrupt your sleep. Those things are facts. So portion out. Have a dinner that you enjoy, but not the biggest one of your life. You can have alcohol, you can have sugar, but not a lot because that stuff is absolutely going to make you a bad sleeper. So if you do those things in the sleep acronym, you are most likely going to notice a big difference in your sleep.
Okay, that was good advice.
Great,
Okay, so
thanks.
we've spoken about sleep. Let's talk
Yep.
about the second pillar, which is
Okay, so
what?
yes, going back to our main concept, right, is
Yes.
core 4. It's the big picture wellness. Don't get caught up in the little details. Do these 4 major things. So the first one is sleep. The second one is move. So sleep, move. Move means exercise, of course. And the big thing with this is I don't know, is people think you have to like know a whole exercise program and be like perfect at this. But really the key is that you need 150 to 300 minutes of movement each week. And whatever you do counts. Like you can just walk. That's totally fine. You can do other things too. Great. But at the end of the day, are you walking 150 to 300 minutes or other exercise each week? Check it out. If you're not, meet that guideline. And in addition to that, it's 2 times a week or more of weight bearing strength exercise. So that can be with your body weight, that could be with a resistance band, that could be with a dumbbell. I mean, at the end of the day, this is where if people want to live a long and healthy life, it all comes down to muscle mass. Muscle is your longevity organ.
Hmm.
Muscle is your longevity organ. The more you have, the healthier and longer you will live. And so, with that, the movement, you just can't be a healthy person unless you're moving each day. I mean, it doesn't have to be dramatic, but you've got to move.
Okay. So what's the minimum you think somebody should be exercising a day?
Well, so if you say 150 minutes a week is your
Mhm.
minimum, and then you divide that by 7, I mean, what is the math? I have to, it's less than a half an hour a day, you know?
Right.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be this huge stretch of time. It's a very small percentage of your day. And, if I had to pick, especially after meals, like if you want better blood sugar regulation, you walked after your meals, that is magic. And even doesn't take 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, even 5 minutes after a meal totally helps your blood sugar.
Okay, so the big thing that came out of move is not just the fact that you're moving, but that you're also doing some strength things,
Oh,
correct?
yes.
So
Please,
that's a
please,
big
please.
that's
Please,
the
please,
main
please, please.
is that the main statement that you made about moving?
Well, movement is sometimes people don't know how much. So 150 to 300 minutes per week. You can split it up however you want, but really, trying to get some every day is great. And then, yes, I think the the stats on this, I've read all sorts of different things that 30% or fewer adults do 2 times a week weight training. I think 30% is a very high estimate. I don't think people are doing it very much at all. And the bottom line, as I said, it is really this idea of if you want a long and healthy life, it comes down to muscle mass. I mean, your muscle does everything from regulating cholesterol and blood sugar and blood pressure. All your people say, "Oh, I want a healthy metabolism." If you want a healthy metabolism, you need muscle mass. And in order to get muscle mass, especially as we age, oh my gosh, especially as we age, we cannot just sit around like we did when we were 20 and like have muscles. Like everything is working against us every day. So you really have to be very mindful of weight training. And again, it could just be your body weight, or it could be a resistance band, or it could really be free weights. But at the end of the day, you've got to do it. You talk to your friends, somebody who's doing it in your group, to ask them advice. Go to a local gym, get a week, like test to see how it is, and get a trainer and see if you like it. Go do something until you like it. Don't just, suck it up and try and do it 2 times a week and hate it. Find something you enjoy, and then you will do it 2 times a week or more.
Okay. Well, that was good advice.
Yes.
Now, let's go on to pillar 3, protein. Is that protein?
Baby. Yes, protein. Okay, so.
You want to get a drink of water while you're in betweens?
No, wait, why? Does it sound like I need water?
No, I'm just asking.
No, with hydration. Okay, fine.
Okay,
You know what? Don't ever look a hydration gift horse in the mouth.
There you go.
I always love a good hydration break.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. Look at us wellness people together. That's how do you
You're
know?
the wellness person. I'm the one that should be listening.
You are too. So this is a quiz for you. How do you know you're recording a wellness podcast?
How?
By knowing you got a hydration break.
There you go. That's a good one. I like that.
I'm here all week.
I'm blushing.
I'm here all week.
There
you go. Fine. Thank you. Thanks for the break. But let's truly get to our core 4. So now we've got sleep, we've got move, and number 3 is protein. And protein is so imperative. I mean, the name of your podcast, right? What is the name of your podcast?
We Are Old, Get Over It.
Right. We Are Old, Get Over It.
Right.
One of the ways to majorly
That was good. You asked me a
it,
question, and I actually had the answer.
You had the answer. I was pretty clear that you would have the answer to that one. But
thank goodness you asked me that one.
Getting over it is like, yes, it's like it's a privilege to age. But listen, at the same time, there are things you can do to age better and feel way better. And one of those things is protein. I never in a million years would think that I would be somebody who is talking about protein. I used to roll my eyes at these people. I used to really think protein was just for the athletes that I would counsel. So I used to be the dietitian for a pro baseball team for 10 years. And so
Wait
these guys are...
Wait a second.
Yes.
It was for the Cubs, correct?
Cubs. Yes. Cubs.
You could have said that.
Well, you know what? When I feel like a lot of people listen, and if it's not their team, then they're like, oh
okay,
gosh,
folks,
blah,
blah, blah. It's okay. You know what?
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't her choice to have that team. They chose her.
If you were a big fan of it, yes, I was with the Cubs. If you weren't, it was just a pro baseball team.
Right. And the good news is you weren't the White Sox.
Because, for me,
you would have been blamed for everything that has happened to them in the past few years.
Probably.
Okay, let's get over that. Okay, sorry.
Well, I mean, the thing for me was in those 10 years, those are 20-something guys, right? They're 20 years old, to 28 maybe max. And those are the guys I thought you have to really think about protein with. These like young guys, these young pro athletes. I didn't think it was somebody like me who would need to worry about protein. But come to find out, as I was doing a research project for a brand I was working for, and they wanted me to write, what kind of nutrients do you need at every different age? Your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s. So each age, I would write what you would need. And then I got to the 40s and I was like, oh my gosh, protein, you need more protein as you're aging? I did not know that was real. I thought people just said that. And then I got to the 50s. It's like, oh my gosh, you definitely need more protein in this age group. Then 60 and beyond, oh my gosh, you definitely need more protein. And here's why. This is the thing that just shocked me as I was researching and read it. is that our body needs a bigger amount of protein to wake it up and tell our muscles to stay active and big and strong
Interesting.
and alive. So it can't work anymore. So a lot of people say, man, I've noticed my body changes, at like 40, 45, 50 and beyond for sure. I was like, oh, my body is changing. My body is changing. Well, guess what? It is changing. How you ate, even if you were the healthiest 30-year-old in the world, cannot work anymore because you can't just snack on a little thing of 10 grams of protein here and 2 grams of protein there. Our body needs like 30 grams at a time to even notice that there's protein. It just is not doing a good job of picking it up as we age. So protein becomes imperative for proper aging, and how we eat it becomes important, that we need 3 meals a day with about 30 grams of protein. Some people need 20 because they're littler and they don't work out as much. Some people need maybe like 40 because they're bigger and they work out more. But 30-ish is what you need at each meal to have your muscles actually realize that protein is on board. And that protein will then support the muscles, which we talked about earlier as being your longevity organ. So protein gets its own category in the core because of its just absolute importance, especially as we age.
Can I ask you a question? Of course,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you anyway.
Yeah, I knew. I knew.
What should provide you as you age with the most protein? It's something that you should have every week or every day. Because there's so many people saying you need protein, you need
Yes.
protein. What the heck are you
Yes.
supposed to use for protein?
Thank you. Thank you for this great question. The biggest thing that I will tell you, you want to vary your protein sources. There are plant sources and there are animal sources of protein. So for plants, it's mostly like beans, nuts, and seeds. So you throw those in your diet, but those aren't going to be very big powerhouses of protein, but you need them. You need them for optimal health. You need those plant protein sources. Beans, and think about that's white beans, black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, all those garbanzo
Right.
beans,
You get
beans. You
lentils,
need
for
them.
example.
Lentils, yes.
Yeah.
Nuts, all the different kinds of nuts. You should probably be
Cashews,
snacking on at least
pistachios,
once. Yeah,
anything.
almonds,
Walnuts.
walnuts. Yeah.
Hmm.
You need probably at least an ounce of nuts a day. I mean, they're great for you. Seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds,
Okay, you can
whatever,
move
all
on
kinds
from
of
the
things.
seeds at this
But
point.
but no, listen to this though. A lot of people forget that there's protein in those plants. So it's important that you have some of that. However, the real bang for your buck is in animal proteins, which is why I'm a flexitarian, a flexible vegetarian. I eat a lot of vegetarian plant sources of protein, but I also I'm flexible. I'm a flexitarian. I'm flexible to also include animal proteins. Now, that would be, say, for breakfast, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs. And then for lunch, it's things like tuna, turkey, chicken. Dinner, it's like salmon and lean ground beef or turkey meatballs. Like all of those foods are protein foods. Now, the biggest mistake people make, well, we'll get to number 4 of a core 4, is when I say you need protein, it's not the only thing you need to eat, but it is something to shift your focus to if you aren't already doing it, is to look at each one of your meals and to say, what is the protein here? Like if you cannot identify a protein and now you can Google it, you can AI it, you can figure it
Absolutely.
out pretty easily of like, what is the protein on my plate here? And making sure that it is on every plate.
Okay. And what is your favorite source of protein?
Okay. I mean, I have
I'm
so
sorry I
many.
stuck you with that question. It
Oh
just
my
came
gosh,
into
no,
my head.
I have so many, but I think a lot that I rely on, a Greek yogurt, I think is incredible. So I tend to buy the 2% plain Greek yogurt, so not flavored, so no added sugar. Okay. And why I like it is because you get like a quick 16 grams of protein that you can add to whatever you wanted to eat for breakfast. So usually, a lot of people have a couple of eggs for breakfast, but that's only 12 grams of protein for a couple of eggs. So then you're like, well, how else am I going to get up to this 30 grams? Well, shoot, a little bit of Greek yogurt with some berries can rack you up to 16 real quick. So I love a Greek yogurt. I've really been trying to eat more sardines. Like I'm at least 3 times a week. Sardines are great for protein and they have omega-3 fats, which are great for our heart. And they have vitamin D and they have calcium. So it's like they have all of these things. So I'm trying to eat more sardines as a source of protein also. And then I think what's really probably another go-to for me is batching chicken. So usually it'll be like either chicken breasts or chicken breast tenders to just have them in the house so that I can cut them up quickly in a salad, or I can put them quickly in a taco shell to make like a veggie chicken tacos. The idea of having something on hand easy, I think is really great. And then another one that I feel like is pretty easy and low key is having frozen edamame around. Very, very high. So you can always have it in your freezer. It doesn't go bad. And it is very high in fiber and protein. So I quite like that too.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why did you say chicken breasts and not chicken thighs?
I will do chicken thighs as well. You can do either. There are health perks to absolutely to both of them. So if somebody prefers a chicken thigh in flavor, there's no shame in that game. A little bit more calories in a chicken thigh than a chicken breast, but I mean, it's not like eating a big chocolate cake. So who cares? If you prefer the thigh, go for it.
Okay. All right. Now,
Dum, da, da,
we're
da.
into the final pillar.
Okay, should I give you a quiz of the core four? Do you know which ones we've already covered?
Yeah, I know them all because I have them in front of me. But go ahead.
You do? Okay. Okay.
It's not fair. It's not fair. I know what they are.
You already have the cheat. Okay.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day these are the four things that you need, right? We talked about sleep, movement, protein, and the final is poop. And here's what I mean by poop.
Excuse me? What was that word?
I'm saying the word poop.
Oh,
I'm saying the word poop. And the reason why I'm saying the word poop is because I got to tell you, as a dietitian, we study as much in school as what goes into your body as what goes out. Like we really do study this a lot. And I feel like people and regularity, people don't talk about it. It's like kind of like, I don't know, a shameful discussion for people. I don't know, it's taboo. But the idea is your pooping can tell you a lot about your health. And in order to have great poops, you need two foundational things. You need
wait. Let's just stop there.
Okay,
in order
good.
to have great poop, is what
poops.
You said. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
that's a quote. Great poop.
At the end of the day, that would be a good goal, is to have great poops.
Okay. Go ahead.
And great poops come from two things. I mean, other things too, but these are the two foundational things: fiber and water. Fiber and water. So technically, this core four, area that I'm calling poop is all about fiber and water. That if you are well hydrated, thank goodness we took our hydration break earlier. If you are well hydrated and you have enough fiber, it's like a workout for your intestinal tract. It's basically like your intestines are lifting weights when they have that fiber and water coming through to act all through the intestinal tract and help you not only stay full. A lot of people are like, oh, fiber is great to stay full. And not only for regularity, but also a healthy gut is a healthy immune system. And that we all want to live a long, healthy life. And so fiber and water are just imperative. They're part of when I'm looking at somebody's nutrition, and they're like, hey, how do you think I do as an eater? I'm always going to look to see that a woman has at least 72 ounces of water, a man at least 100 ounces of water a day. And I'm always looking to see if they're adding up to about 30 grams of fiber. And a lot of times, I mean, people don't know how much fiber they're getting, but I can tell you this, most people are getting half of that or less. Most people are in the 12 to maybe 15 grams a day, which is half as much as we need.
Okay.
So how do you get fiber?
So wait, no, but let me go back a second.
Good.
Okay, so you were saying you're a nutritionist and you were studying this stuff and you're a scientist, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about studying poop.
Okay.
Okay, here's my question. I'm making this up. I mean, I thought about this before.
Okay.
I think men look at their poop more than women do. But I'm not a woman, so I don't know.
And I'm not a good judge because I'm always looking at my poop. Your poop and your urine.
If somebody just tunes into our podcast right now, they're going to just hang up, right?
At the halfway mark or whatever. Yeah, they're going to be like, oh my. No, at the end of the day, poop and urine can tell you something about your health. And so I think it's a good thing to look at it and to say, oh my gosh, you know what? I need more fiber. I need more water, or I'm doing a really great job on my fiber and water. I'm feeling regular. I'm feeling like really relieved after I go to the bathroom. This is wonderful. I think people understand water, but fiber, I think it's confusing to people because a lot of times people are like, well, does that mean I have to take a fiber supplement? Or like, how do I get fiber? And there is probably one biggest trick of all to get fiber, and that is beans. We talked about them already as being a plant source of protein, but they also are one of the highest fiber foods that is available. So black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, lentils, as you said, all of these things have so much more fiber than most of the fruits and vegetables out there. So making sure that you have beans in your diet is huge. A typical goal for your first step would be about a cup and a half a week. That would be the minimum to shoot for. That's a can. That's equivalent to about a can.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I would tell people to open up a can of your favorite beans, rinse and drain them, keep them in the fridge, and try and throw them into stuff throughout the week and try and get that cup and a half at least each week. Another place that is a lot of fiber is raspberries, apples, and pears. Make sure those are on your grocery lists. Putting raspberries, apples, and pears in through your snacks at breakfast, very, very wise. Chia seeds have a lot of fiber in them. And so you can sprinkle those on, just about everything and anything. And then I would say after that, everything gets to be kind of, and another thing, oats and popcorn, actually. Oats and popcorn are pretty great to have in
So
your
having
diet.
oatmeal in the morning, let's say,
Yes,
and then having popcorn in the early
yes,
evening. There
yes.
you
So,
go. We're coming
if
up with
you're
a whole
having
diet.
yeah, well, and that's really it. It's like if you have beans, these are the heavy hitters that it's almost anytime you see these in someone's diet, they're getting closer to 30 because you're like, oh my gosh, they're eating beans, they're having raspberries, pears, apples, they have oats in their diet, they have chia seeds in their diet, they have popcorn in their diet. Almonds have a lot of fiber too. Even dark chocolate has some fiber in it. Prunes have some fiber in them too.
Well,
So
that'll
at
help
the
your
end,
poop a lot.
Exactly. Actually, you know what? There's even more research lately on kiwi helping poop. That there's
Really.
really, yeah, interesting. If you're having trouble with regularity, 2 kiwis a day, get it back on track. But nonetheless, fiber. Try a game. Again, you could use Google. You could use AI. Trying a game of 30 grams of fiber a day. How do I get it? How can I get it? Even for 7 days, add up your fiber and see where you're at. It's like, oh my gosh, I guess I really am kind of low in fiber or whatever. Or I am getting 30. Congratulations to me. So that final core four of poop really means make sure your fiber and water are on track.
Okay. So we've got our complete list. We've
Yes.
we've embarrassed ourselves and taken care of all the information that people want to hear. They may not want to hear. I did have one other thing I wanted to mention, and I didn't want to interrupt you before, and it
Yeah.
was about cottage cheese.
Oh, yeah. Protein.
Yeah,
Great. Yes.
and
Great protein.
it's become
Similar.
very popular these days, and it
It
wasn't
sure
for a long
has.
time.
Oh my gosh. It was like an 80s diet food. I ate it in cantaloupe. Like that was like the big diet food. Or I
Oh
had a
yeah, I
scoop
remember
on
that.
salad, with
Hmm.
fat-free salad dressing. 80s. Oh, the 80s. But the deal of
Were you even born
cotton.
in the 80s?
Oh, Ken, flattery will get you everywhere. Do go on. But in all seriousness, yes, cottage cheese has made a resurgence. And I think that is a great thing when it comes to protein. But if you don't like it, it's no problem because Greek yogurt can fit right in and they have very similar amounts of protein, cottage cheese and Greek yogurt. So, you can swap one for the other based on preference. The only difference actually is this is an interesting thing is cottage cheese has a little bit more of this casein protein in it, which helps you sort of slow release protein as you sleep. So if there was a snack, if somebody said, oh, like I really need a little protein snack before I go to bed. Well, cottage cheese is a really interesting one to add before bed because it has that slow release protein that may actually just help your sleep even more. So anyway.
Yeah, my wife almost every day has cottage cheese and organic blueberries, and that gets her going for the day so she can pick on me.
I like that. Enough energy so that she could pick on her husband. But yeah, I mean, even
Absolutely.
for the healthy eaters out there, I would encourage them to look at fiber.
Mm.
It's shocking how, it's something like broccoli. Oh, I ate all this broccoli. I had all this cauliflower. I had, all this fruit, whatever. And it's like 2 grams, 2 grams, 2 grams. It's adding up, but not to 30. So even the healthy eaters out there, I would encourage I call it a 7-day challenge where you just double check for 7 days. Are you eating enough fiber?
Okay. All right. Any last thoughts? Until our next conversation. What are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? Are we going to do?
I mean, there's so many.
We could do the
things.
diet. We could do your famous diet.
Flexitarian is a great diet. Superfood Swap is a great diet. I like them both. We could play around with those too.
Okay.
But here's what I will tell you. At the end of the day, I have something called the Universal Diet, which I quite like too. Metabolic 5, that's an interesting one too. Oh my God, there's so many topics, Ken, we could do. But
you'll send it to me and we'll decide.
Yes, I digress because really I think the most important thing about today's conversation is thinking wellness can get overwhelming, just like your intro said. A lot of people sort of start dialing out of this wellness conversation because they feel like they cannot do all the things that people tell you to do. So if you are trying to be healthy and you want to double check, like, am I doing everything I need to be doing? Think about the core 4. Think about your sleep. Think about your movement. Think about your protein and think about your fiber and water, or AKA your poop. If you think about these core 4 things and you really can follow through on all 4 of them, you really will be one of the healthiest people you know.
That's a great way to end it with the following exception. Okay. How do people get a hold of you, or how do they get to all the information that you've given us today in the form of YouTube or your website or whatever it is? Why don't you mention a few of those things? You get promote yourself. Go ahead.
Thanks for that, Ken. My main hub is my website, djblatner.com. That's where I have everything housed. So like the article on Core 4, if you want to read even more, click on my fiber little handouts and things that I have at djblatner.com.
Okay. And that costs absolutely nothing.
Oh, no. I'm a big believer in giving free information, spreading the wealth, and passing it to your friends even. Like anything you can do to spread the wellness message, I'm on board.
That's great. And I want to end the podcast by thanking you. And I will remember to send you the 4 quotes that you never made.
No, I'm telling you, I will tell you, I sign off on at least parts of every single one.
There you go. And with that, we'll let everybody else go and we'll talk for another minute or so. Okay.
I love it. Thanks so much and enjoy your Core 4.
Okay, I will. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And that concludes this episode of We Are Old, Get Over It. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found our conversation both insightful and entertaining. Remember, age is a journey, not a destination. So embrace the wrinkles, the forgetfulness, and the occasional tech frustrations with a good dose of get over it attitude. Until next time, keep laughing, keep learning, and keep getting over it. Ken out.
This podcast features a variety of perspectives. The views and opinions expressed by our guests are solely their own and do not constitute an endorsement by this program. Unless otherwise stated, this podcast does not endorse the products and services of our guests, but shares them for informational purposes only.